Hollywood John Tatum goes into details regarding his relationship with Missy Hyatt, as you see here, alongside with Sting and Eddie Gilbert. And during this time frame, Missy Hyatt had eyes for Eddie Gilbert. John Tatum goes into details over losing Missy Hyatt to Eddie Gilbert. Let's get to the interview clip.
At the time, Michael Hayes and Missy were riding a lot together, I guess, because Missy was having eyes for Eddie, and she was getting into arguments with me, things that I didn't know about at the time. And she started riding with Michael, and then would ride with Sting, and then started riding with Eddie, and all that was fine. I really, in all sincerity, it never crossed my mind that. And even if she did it, it really wasn't that big a deal. She was screwing him, but I didn't think she was. And one night we were in a motel room, and she said she was going to get something, ice, or I don't remember the exact, what she was going to get, or do something for somebody. And Eddie Gilbert was staying at the same hotel, and I didn't know. And somebody told me that she was in his room, and I went around, knocked on the door, and they were in the room together.
Right.
So that broke up. They played it off like it was nothing, oh, hey, John, I'm coming. Here I come.
Right.
And I don't know if it was the next day, but it was real soon afterwards that Eddie came to me in a building and said he wanted to talk to me. And he said that he was real disappointed in the way that I treated Missy, and she deserved better than that. And, he finds himself falling for her and wanted to know how I felt about it.
How did you handle that?
Both of us, it's very man to man, It was kind of like a handoff, I guess, a handshake and a hug, and it was pretty much from that day. She packed her stuff and was done.
What was Bill Watts' reaction to the whole entire situation?
I don't know. Bill Watts is, I'm sure anything Eddie wanted, is what Eddie wanted. But, Bill Watts never liked women in the business to begin with. So,
right. Did you ever feel betrayed by the boys that knew about it, or no?
No. It's just like anything, in life, I just had my ass handed to me, Just sometimes you not the winner, and I just wasn't the winner.
I guess whose idea was it to make a program out of it on screen? Whose idea was it to turn it into a storyline?
God, it actually started turning into the storyline before it actually started happening.
Wow.
Yeah. It was like, man, just how blind are you, John? I mean, to me, that's the one. Looking back, that's what all the other, the other boys were going, maybe you should open your eyes. And I was like, I don't really care. It would probably be good for me if she doesn't. You know how you say that.
Right.
You really don't want it.
Right.
If you know Missy Hyatt at all, she's when you love her, it's kind of hard to stop. She's really a good person.
Right.
She's a great person to hang around with. And I was in love, didn't, like messing around with the other girls. But as soon as Missy was gone, I really loved her. As soon as Missy took her, or Eddie took her, I really wanted her.
Right, right.
But I didn't act like it. But yeah, it hurt real bad.
Did anything between you and Eddie ever turn into a shoot in the ring?
Never. Had some great matches. Unfortunately, it was me being the babyface. And I'd never been a babyface, and I really didn't know how to do it. He wasn't really all that helpful,
Right.
As I guess he could have been with all his experience. But for the most part, it went real well. I would have liked to have seen us get a lot more mileage out of it. And we did have good matches, but I think they wanted it stopped.
The angles are amazing.
Well, the angles didn't last long.
Right. It was only a couple weeks, I think, right?
It was fast.
Yeah.
You know, and that was, like I said, to get me off. Back then, we were A and B towns. You know,
Right.
we ran 2 towns a night. One of them had your top talent, and the other ones had the B team. And I was sent to the B team after that, or Jack and I was. Poor Jack caught in the middle. I don't know that he noticed or would say that, but he was dragged down because of, you know, me.
I guess I was going to ask you, was it hard sharing a locker room with Missy after all this happened?
No, I don't really. I mean, Missy and I, there was never a time that we were, like I say, I moved immediately to the B team.
Right.
You know, and they were, you know, they just were happily ever after, so to speak.
Were you surprised they got married and all?
I was.
Right.
I was. But Eddie was a real likable guy. You know, both of them were real likable.
Were you surprised, I guess, at the longevity that Missy had in the business?
Well, no. I mean, she was a talent. She did what she was told. You know, I don't know what happened after me, you know, but pretty much until, as long as I was with her, she did what she was told.
Right.
And did a good job at it.
What are your thoughts on Missy today and her reputation in the business?
I have not talked with Missy or, I don't know. I don't know her position in the business.
Cool.
Oh, well. No, it's probably your best question. No, my relationship with Missy is null.
Okay.
I talked to her today for the first time in 20 years, probably.
Wow. Did you read her book or no?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, that was something I talked about today when I spoke with her. Was she said she tried to find me and couldn't find me for some pictures for the book. I told her to bring me one, so when I see her tomorrow, she's supposed to bring me one.
Cool.
Now I'm speaking of Hollywood John Tatum, Sting, Jack Victory, and Missy Hyatt. Now you think, for 1 minute, that you think that you're going to have the greatest play in professional wrestling, and we don't? Just remember this, Journey. While these 3 men take care of your 3, down on that floor will be Missy Hyatt and you. But don't forget me, because I'll be out there too.